So why specifically are Google's efforts to become the world's information overlord so troublesome for Apple? To explain this, let's first look at the value information holds for both users and dealers of information. The modern world is becoming increasingly connected, and with this increased exposure to information, there is a huge demand for timely, accurate, and accessible information. The reason for this is simple. Those with the best information can make the best decisions. As the world becomes increasingly developed and therefore competitive, the need to make good decisions is extremely valuable. From a business perspective, the ability to reach the right customers with information about one's products can mean the difference between the life and death of a business. This is evident because Google's advertising activities make up 90.4% of its total $74.5 billion in revenues in 2015. So yes, Google's focus on advertising has proved extremely valuable. This then brings us to the question of whether information as a resource is rare. Information in and of itself is not rare. Information is encoded in everything in this world. One only needs to look to find information. The problem is that information is not always easy to access. Information can be trapped behind layers of complex computation or obscured by information that is seemingly relevant but is actually not. What Google has done is made information vastly more accessible through the use of powerful algorithms developed by innovative talent. Sure, there are other competitors that have also done this, such as Microsoft and Amazon, but when was the last time any of you used Bing to find the information you're looking for? Google is simply better at this than its competitors. With that being said, information and the ability to access it is not necessarily rare, but Google has a significant lead in its acquisition compared to competitors. So then, is this capability easy to imitate? Google's parent company Alphabet spent $12.3 billion on research and development in 2015, trailing behind only Amazon. Companies that pursue information to the levels of Google, Amazon, and Microsoft clearly spend large amounts of money developing ways to improve their acquisition, distribution, and platforms for the consumption of information. The pursuit of information is extremely costly to imitate because, once again, it is difficult to access. Significant technical investment is needed to develop a business model based on information that can deliver an efficient end product. So lastly, this brings us to how Google is organized to take advantage of its information capabilities. Google has certainly developed a plethora of techniques to meet this end. This starts with Google's talent acquisition process. Google needs smart, capable people who can think outside the box to solve Google's complex challenges that go along with trying to get the most out of the information it has, and its interviewing process certainly reflects this. Applicants are asked questions like how many golf balls can fit in a school bus, or how much should you charge to wash all of the windows in Seattle, that demonstrate a candidate's resourcefulness and ability to think abstractly. This leads Google to attract some of the most innovative talent in the industry. With good talent in place, Google has set itself up to exploit this talent's ability to develop its core competency of information. It does this by adopting a flat organizational structure whereby employees can communicate ideas directly to upper management and generate new ideas from a bottom-up perspective as well as the reverse. Google also allows its employees the freedom to innovate by giving its employees the opportunity to spend 20% of their time to pursue projects that they are individually passionate about. This helps further Google's goals of improving its information capabilities while also keeping its employees happier and more productive. Lastly, Google has what it calls the 10 times rule. This rule comes from Google's CEO, Larry Page, who expects Google employees to produce products and services that are not only 10% better than those of its competitors, but 10 times better. This is something that Apple should definitely take to heart, as it seems for the last few years Apple has been following the 10% rule. This kind of mentality has led Google to a culture of continuous innovation and development, allowing it to pursue its goal of being the world's information leader. In conclusion, Google's core competency of information is valuable, not imitable, and its organizational structure allows it to take advantage of this competency. While information in and of itself is not rare, access to it definitely is, and Google has been able to access information extremely effectively compared to its competitors. As long as this is the case, Google will be able to maintain a sustained competitive advantage over its competitors.